Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
I want to do a quick comparison of Royals versus Heads of State. As many know, Royals is the reimplementation of Heads of State, but how are they different? Well, first of all, you can see the artwork is different. The Royals artwork is much more professional than the Heads of State. Now, some of the components are going to be different, and as we open up this box, we will be able to see a lot of the wood has been replaced with cardboard. So where in the Royals, you're going to have these little tiles that will be for scoring. In Heads of State, you actually had wood, cardboard, very thick wood that you had to sticker, and that's going to be a huge difference. In addition, the cards are going to be a little bit different. So in Heads of State, you had cards with like science, etc. on it, and this one you're just going to have the one of the country with the coat of arms on it, where in Heads of State, because of gameplay issues, you would have two sets of cards. You would have these science-esque cards like this that would be turned into Earl cards and whatnot, where this one you would just have this. So that's been streamlined a little bit, and I'll kind of explain that when I go to gameplay. But that's going to be it. So Heads of State is going to have more components because you're going to be putting two sets of cards in to make the engine work versus just one where it's been streamlined. And the big one is this wood has been replaced with cardboard in Royals. So here's the board for Heads of State. You can kind of see the areas here. It's going to be a little bit different in the board that you're going to see in the setup. So you got the scoring down here. You got each of the scoring is by it. That's very much the same. The different shapes, that's going to be the same. The breakup of where things are is a little bit different, and the artwork is definitely different. So in this one, these top one was always worth 2 influence, where the bottom was worth 1. In Royals, you're going to see a little bit different. So here's the board for Royals. You're going to have the scoring. All the scoring is going to be down here, not by the specific countries, but it's going to be categorized by the coat of arms and the color, if you will. Also, each area right here is going to tell you how many cards you need to play, because it's going to be a little bit different, and I'll explain that in just a second. And here would be the influence, so 2-1, 2-1, where this is 4-3, 4-2. So the influence has been changed a little bit also. I also noticed that in London, you now have a king up there. And I don't think that you had a king down here in Madrid last time. So there's a little bit more kings on the board than there was before. And a little subtle differences of how the play is. So this tracking right here where the nude scoring was, used to be at the bottom, is now here at the top. And this looks a lot more like the countries, I guess. You can tell if you like the bright colors better, or if you like the muted colors with the coat of arms. It just depends on maybe your style. Now the artwork is much better in this one. So you can see that this actually looks like a human being versus somebody's face just being photoshopped. So I do like the Royals board better, a little more realistic. I do like bright colors normally, and that's going to be the difference. So one big difference for Heads of State is you'll have these cards face up, and you'll have 6, where in Royals you'll only ever have 4 cards. And you'll take these cards, you can take 3 on a turn, which is the same as Royals, and you'll take these cards, and then you'll trade the cards in for the people, and that's how you'll score that. So you get these people that will come out, and then you'll use these people to put on the board. So it's 2 steps. 1, get these resource cards, which will be traded in for people, which will then be placed on the board. And you still have the treachery cards, but you do have this assassin card that's in Heads of State, where you draw randomly out of a bag to see if you're able to take over an area, or you can just play the normal treachery cards and take over an area. So that's kind of very different how you have the 2 steps there. In Royals, this has been streamlined. So what you're going to do in Royals instead is you will have 3 of these face up, and you will take these cards, and these have different coats that represent the different countries, and then you will take a number of these based on where you want to go. So if you want to go here, this has a number 4. It would require 4 France cards in order to go to that spot. Here we take 6, 8, 5. So it's a different number that's being required for all the different spots. So it's not only that 2-step process, but I do have to have more cards, which lets that set collection a little bit more powerful there. And then you'll put those out on the board with each spot being worth a different matter of influence. So that's going to be a little bit different than what you would have with Heads of State. So it's a quick comparison. I didn't talk about anything that's the same. If I didn't mention it, it's likely the same. Those are the main differences. The main 2 differences, just to narrow it down, would be the look of the game. That'd be number 1. Royals was like a much more professional outputting of a game than Heads of State. Royal is going to have that one step. This is the second. This is the most biggest difference. You have one step. You're set clicking those cards, and you X a number depending on what spot you want to take on the board. Where Heads of State, you're going to have to cash those cards in using a chart that every player will have. And each person will require a different set collection combination. Much more confusing. While this isn't something that's going to like rack your brain, it is a little bit harder for people to pick up. People understand I need 3 blue France cards versus this complicated combination to get the king, which is a lot harder to get because there's so many different cards to get versus in Royals, you only have 3 or 4 cards that you would ever be collecting. The intrigue pretty much works the same. The assassin's been taken out of the game for the Royals, which really just added luck. It was drawing cubes out of a bag and it was kind of stacked against you. So if you had a 25% chance of getting what you wanted by just using the assassin card, that's been eliminated from the game. The board has been balanced a little bit more. I say balanced because that's what they say, but I don't know. I haven't played it enough. And you're going to have different influence for the different spots. It was a little bit more strategic about where you want to go. Those are the main differences. Now, which one do I like better? If I was buying one of these and they're equal in price, I would definitely buy Royals. I think that's a more polished production. It's a much more streamlined production. Heads of State is going to be more of your gamer game, I think. I think the idea of getting all these different cards and cashing them in really is going to mess with your mind sometimes about what's the chances of getting all of this and kind of how that works. I think the Assassin does add a little bit of luck, and you can always take those cards out if you wanted to. So I think this might be the more gamer game. This might be the more streamlined gateway type game. This is a great gateway for area control. This one, a little bit more complicated. So depending on what kind of experience you want, you can have that flavor of the game. You can play Royals with this version, but you can't play this with that. So that may play into it also. But if I was going to pick one, I would probably get Royals. This version is out of print, but it is still available due to secondary market that you can get. But I would stick with Royals. This will be the one that I'll be keeping, and I'll be purging this.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.